Okay, so this is a new lab. It's going to be a lab about malware protection using an AWS Network Firewall. And in order to start the lab, I'm going to click the Start Lab button, accept the terms, and just let it go. Okay, so I'll be back once this is up and running. Once the environment is ready for us to start working. Okay, so the main idea about this lab is going to be that we're going to use a firewall, a network firewall, an AWS network firewall in order to keep certain files from being downloaded into our EC2 instances. And that's why we're going to configure the network firewall. And so the main idea of the firewall is going to be to help us protect our internal network EC2 instances, resources, from any threats that are out there on the internet. And in this particular case, what we're trying to reproduce is a situation when a company has users who have been downloading files that they shouldn't be downloading because those files are infected with malware. So the what we're going to do here is simply going to try to figure out how to configure the firewall so that the network firewall so that it blocks certain files from being downloaded. That's pretty much what we're going to be doing here. Just trying to modify the AWS network firewall, the configuration of it, um, and put measures in place so that whenever those users try to download those infected files again, that they won't be able to do that because we have the firewall, the network firewall is going to block that traffic from being downloaded. Okay, so the lab environment is up and running. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open the console. I'm going to click Open Console, and I'm going to move it over here. It's opening. Okay, we're ready to start working. So let's take a look at these steps. So task number 1, confirm reachability. This we're going to try to. This is step number 3. We're going to try to reach this EC2 instance. In order to do that, I need to go to EC2. Go to EC2. And then I take a look at my instances, which are here. And if I scroll up, you can see that's the test instance. That's the one that I'm supposed to, that I'm going to be connecting to using a session manager from Systems Manager. So I select it. Normally there's a button here, but because of the space limitations that I have right now, oh, well, here it is. So I can either click this button here, or I can right click once I have the EC2 instance selected. I can right click, and then from this pop-up menu I can select connect. So let me select it from here, connect, and I'm going to use in Sessions Manager, and I'm going to connect. Okay, and then step 4, I need to issue 2 commands. One is go to the home directory, cd tilde. Okay, I'm in the home directory. That's the one that I was in the first place, so there was no change. And now I'm going to print the working directory. Print working directory. You can see that I'm in the home directory of the SSM-user. This is the user that gets created, the user account that is used by systems manager. Okay, next thing I need to do is download the two malicious. In step number 5, I'm going to download one of the malicious files, and I should have no problem doing that because right now we know that users are able to do it without a problem, so we should be able to do it too. You can see we have a 200 um, code, which means that it was successful. In step number 6, I'm going to do the same, except that it's going to be with a different file. Do the same thing. Use the wget command. This wget command is used to download files from the internet. Because we don't have a web browser, we have to have a way of downloading files from the internet. So wget is going to be that tool that we're going to use to download files from the internet. You can see that this one again gives us a um, response code of 200, which means that it was successful. Now, pretty much in step 7 says that we should see something like this, which is what I have here. The next step is I need to list the directory, but first of all, I'm going to clear my screen, ls, and we can see that there are two files. This is the first one that I downloaded. This is one of the ones that I downloaded. This is the other one that I downloaded. Okay, so that's what we did. Now, the next step we're going to do is we're going to go to the network firewall, to the AWS Network Firewall. So in order to do that, in step 9, it says that I need to enter VPC here in my search bar, VPC, and select it from the drop-down menu. And then the next thing I need to do in step number 10 is to go to network firewall and then choose firewalls. Okay, so scroll down, network firewall, and then select firewalls. Okay, that's what I'm doing now. And then step 11, I need to choose the lab firewall, which is the one that I have here. Click on it. Okay. And choose this one. Now in step 11 says choose lab firewall. Well, that's what I did. Read through the 3 steps in the overview section. This is the overview section. And we see that we have 3 things here, it seems. Okay. We have details, firewall policy settings, and monitoring. Okay, and that was step 12. Now I need to choose this one to look at the details of this firewall. Okay, so these are the details. Let me close this for the time being so that I have more space. Next step I need to do is I need to go in the stateless let me see. Um, stateless full groups. The stateless default actions. Right now we have action for all packets is to let them all through for full packets, and then for fragmented packets we're dropping them. So if you have a fraction of a packet, you just drop it. We're going to change this behavior. The behavior that we're going to change is I'm going to click on the edit button. And the changes that I need to make are the following. For all fragmented packets, we're going to use the same action for all packets. Okay. In the fragmented packets, which is here, we're going to use the same action for all packets. Okay. And the next thing that we're going to do is that instead of letting the packets pass through, we are going to forward them to a stateful rule group, which we haven't created, by the way. Okay, so forward to stateful rule group. Again, the stateful rule group is not yet defined, but that's something that we're going to define later on. So instead of the problem with the stateless is the stateless action is this stateless firewall is kind of like careless, doesn't care too much. But when this case, what we want to do is we want to pass it somewhere else for further inspection. Okay, so I'm going to save this. That was step 15. Um, and then we have here a stateful rule engine inspects packets in the context of the traffic flow, gives you the ability to use more complex rules, and it gives you the ability to log network traffic and AWS Network Firewall alerts on traffic. Um, stateful rules considers traffic direction. The stateful rules engine might delay packet delivery to um, group packets for inspection. So there's going to be some delay, but that's because we're doing a more thorough work with respect to the packets that go through it. Okay. So now in the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to create a firewall group. This is the one that's going to have some rules. And so let me go back to, in this case, I need to go, in order to access the network firewall rules in step 16, I need to go back to network firewall. So here's network firewall, and here is the network firewall rule groups. Okay. So now that I am here, I can close this, and let's see what is it that I need to do. Okay, so I need to a create a rule group. That's what I need to do. So I'm going to click on this one. And then the type of rule group that I'm going to use is going to be of stateful type. That's the one that I have selected. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as is. And then it says that we should enter the name, but AWS has changed the graphical user interface for this rule group type for the rule groups. And so we're going to have to find our way and select the correct one. But I can tell you that the rule group format is going to be Suricata compatible rule string. So I select it from here. And the next thing it says, the next thing that when it comes to the stateful rule order, we should choose default, but we don't have that here. But if you read, it says this option, action order, was previously named default order, and that's the one that they want us to select here. The one that was selected was this one. This was the recommended one, but the one that we need to use is going to be this one, action order. Okay, and then I click next, and here is where I enter the name of my rule, which is going to be stateful rule group. Capacity is 100. Okay, click next. And now we need to take a look at the rules themselves. There's two rules. These are rules for related to IP addresses, which we don't need. This also is related to IP sets, rules of IP addresses again. These are the Suricata rules that I need to enter. So I need to copy from here and paste it onto here. Now that I have copied this, I can click next, and I'm going to click next because this is optional, and I'm not going to use any tags. And I'm at the point where I need to review the rule that I created. Is the rule group that I created is stateful, is going to be compatible with the Suricata rules, um, and That's it. So I'm going to create rule group. At this point, this rule group is going to be floating there in the air. I'm going to have to associate this rule group to the firewall, to the network firewall. Okay, that's what I'm going to do in step number 4. Attach a rule group to the firewall, to the network firewall. In order to do that, in step 21, it says that I need to go to the network firewalls and then select firewalls. So I expand this, scroll down, network firewall, and I need to go into firewalls. Once I've done that, I can close this so then I get some extra space. And then step number 21 says choose lab firewall. So I click on it. And the next step is I need to go to I need to add rules to this. So let's find where those rules are. Okay, I need to click on the policy so we can see a little bit better. Okay, so here's the network rule groups, okay? And the one that I'm going to add is going to be a stateful rule group, okay? This is a stateless. I need stateful. Okay, so we have stateful rule groups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this option, stateful rule groups. And then I have 3 options. Create a stateful rule group. I don't need to create a new one. I already have one. And then add unmanaged stateful rule groups. The unmanaged ones are the ones that you create. The ones that AWS creates for you are going to be called the managed ones. So the one that I created myself is considered unmanaged. So I'm going to select this one. And from here, you can see that this is the one that I created a moment ago. So pretty much what I need to do is I need to, instead of number 24, I need to put a checkbox. Select the checkbox here and just add stateful rule group. And by doing this, now I'm going to have that available. And so forward for full packets. Okay, yeah, this is the idea. So now that we have done that, we just need to make sure that this works. Remember that originally we were able to download the 2 infected files, the 2 malware files to our EC2 instance. Now after this change, we shouldn't be able to do that. So let's validate the solution. So in step number 26, it tells us to go to the EC2 service, EC2, and then click on it. Then I'm going to go to instances, and then so pretty much what I need to do is I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Select the EC2 instance. Let me close this so then we can see the connect button there. I click on the connect button. I'm going to connect to it, and I'm going to use sessions manager. Session manager from systems manager. I'm going to connect to it, to the system, like that. Instead of using SSH, it's much easier to do it like this. And then the next thing I need to do is I need to do the same steps that I did before. I need to go to the home directory, even though I'm in the home directory already, but we need to do that. You see that I get the exact same prompt as I did before. And then print working directory, pwd, the same home directory as I had before. And then the next thing I need to do is I need to try to download those files, which should be blocked now by the rule that I created. So let me go paste. So now when I hit enter, you see it didn't finish. It didn't say the response of 200. The reason is that this traffic was caught by that rule that we just created. And then, so this will be like this forever. It will never give us the successful code. In order to stop this from continuing, I am going to, you see that it's, the display is showing this. HTTP request sent, awaiting response, nothing happens. In order to force this command to stop, I'm going to press Ctrl C. I'm out of it. So the first one was not successful. Now let's try the second file. Using the wget command, we should get the same response. Copy, paste, and then enter. Again, we got to the same point. HTTP request sent, awaiting response. The response is never going to come back because the rule that I created earlier is going to stop it. Okay, so pretty much that's what happened here. We can see that the network firewall is given the configuration that we just gave it. Um, it's not allowing those two files to be downloaded. And so here I'm going to click Ctrl C to stop this because this will wait forever. It will never finish. And pretty much this is what we needed to do in this lab. And if I do oh well, I made a I forgot one step. I should have deleted those two files. I should have deleted these two. So I'm going to remove those two files. List. Let me try the two commands again because we were supposed not to see anything here, but I forgot to delete those two files. So let's do it again. Let's do the two commands that should not work. Let me copy it from here, paste it, enter, waiting response. It never successfully completes. I'm going to cancel it by pressing Ctrl C. Okay, and next I'm going to do the next one, which should not work either. So I copy it from here, I paste it, hit enter, and also we got to the same response. In this case, the network firewall is blocking those files from being downloaded, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and now because I was supposed to have deleted those files, um, we don't have anything now. You can see that we don't have anything there, so there's nothing. And that's pretty much it. And I hope that you have enjoyed this video lab demonstration on how to use the AWS Network Firewall. Okay, thank you.